Hello, Trinity family. This is Pastor Dewar, and this is your Theology in 3. Today, I'd like to read for you a section of one of the most famous Psalms in all of Scripture, maybe one of the most famous passages in all of Scripture. If you don't have anything else memorized, you probably have this memorized. It shows up in movies and film and art all the time. So, allow me to read. Psalm 23, verses 1 through 3. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside still waters. He restores my soul. He leads me in paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Here, David is comparing God to a shepherd, an occupation that David used to have before he became king of Israel. And this is important because a shepherd is a leader, somebody who leads the sheep, who takes care of the sheep, who protects the sheep. Now, in southeast Michigan, we don't have a lot of shepherds around. We've got a lot of farmland. There are some livestock, but by and large, most of our agriculture is, crops. It's not really husbandry, if you will. Now, this bears impact when you teach people who've never read the Bible, who aren't familiar with Christianity, about, the Bible. I had a student or two when I taught at Concordia who we'd read this passage, and they'd call me over and ask, what is sheep herd? And that might seem surprising to you and to me because, we've grown up with this text. We've read this text. We've heard this over and over again. But if you look around in our culture, we don't see a lot of these around anymore. And so it's a very strange thing to read in the text. It's something that we don't have quite a lot of. And this is actually going to bear importance to our understanding of green pasture as well. When we read the text, being from southeast Michigan, and we read green pasture, we have no shortage of green pastures around us. We look outside and we see a green pasture everywhere we go. And that's kind of a strange thought. He leads me to green pastures. Well, if there's a green pasture everywhere you go, you don't really need a shepherd. Shepherd is useful when there are no green pastures. When the greenest thing you got is like dry stubble sticking out of the desert floor. And that's what's super valuable about traveling to Israel. When you are in Israel, you see the climate, you see the nature of the landscape. David is from Bethlehem. Bethlehem is on the edge of the Judean wilderness, a rain shadow to the east of the Judean ridge, where Jerusalem and Bethlehem are. He spends a lot of his time in the wilderness, where there's not a lot of food for the sheep. And so the shepherd has a responsibility to know where there's going to be food for the sheep, even in the driest of seasons. And this is very impactful and important to you and to me. That's why the psalm is so comforting. Because when we read this psalm, we see, oh, wait a second. God knows what I need, even in the hardest times. And so that's why this psalm is a great one to sing and to pray when you're going through a hardship. Because God knows what you need, even in the driest seasons. And he takes you to find food, to find green pastures, even when you can't. I pray that you have a blessed rest of your day.